Praise be Jesus Christ. Part of our dignity as Christians is that the Lord endows us with courage. No Christian is meant to be a wimp. We're all supposed to be strong and courageous because the Lord commands us to be strong and courageous. And what He orders, He delivers. St. Paul tells us, God did not give us a spirit of cowardice, but rather of power and of love and self-control. Now, as Christians, we're called to fast. Jesus didn't say if you fast, He said when you fast. And we know that we are in a battle against forces of darkness. That's part of our dignity too. We're warriors. We're meant to be knights who go into battle. There's a dignity to that. Now, the Lord Jesus tells His disciples, He says, this kind of demon cannot be driven out by anything but prayer and fasting. During Lent, I called people to consider joining me for the Daniel fast, which is a kind of a type of vegetarian fast. And I'm glad to know that many people did, including many of my parishioners, joined me in the Daniel fast. Different variations of the Daniel fast. I'm very kind of easygoing about not being too legalistic about your fasting. Do what the Lord puts on your heart to do, and that will be pleasing to the Lord. But it's so important for us to fall in love with fasting. Yes, fasting will always be a challenge. It's always difficult because we tend to have a bit of a slavery to food. We tend to be attached to food, to our comfort foods and things like that. And the Lord wants to give us self-mastery. And one of the ways we gain self-mastery is by having periods of time when we have a break from our typical comforts and we fast. Now, I heard someone say a while ago something along the lines of, when we fast, it's like adding a punch to our prayer. It adds punch to our prayer. And I just really encourage you all, I know it's the Easter season, so it's a time when we're not supposed to be fasting, but I encourage you to really consider bringing fasting, making fasting as part of your life. And maybe, God willing, I'm not sure about this, I plan things sometimes and they don't always work out, but maybe during Advent we can do the Daniel fast again and experience just the grace of the power of prayer and fasting. Viva Christore!